guess it's time for another update. As you saw in the time lapse, it's been quite a bit of work, and actually it's about 10 days worth, not 10 days worth of work straight, but like you put a layer of this poly brush on, this kind of orangish pinkish looking glue, and you got to let it dry before you put the next layer on it, all the solvents out. And it looks kind of bad, like, whoa, what's going on here? But it's just kind of the way it dries in the things. This is all really flat. The cool thing about it is use the little iron here, and you can iron out any of the imperfections now. And in fact, I've been reading the polyfiber manual back to front a bunch of times, and this is a pretty critical stage because apparently this stuff you can't really sand out. So I'm going to try to get this absolutely as flat as I can. After I put the two over the tape lines, I put the 2 layers of poly brush down, and then put the tape on with a layer of poly brush on top of that. I actually ironed out everything, every edge, every patch, to make it flat before I put the next layer of poly brush down on those. And it turned out pretty flat. There was a couple flaws, but they got ironed out. In fact, in the video, I don't know why in the video, but this looks really chunky, but it's kind of the way the glue dried. And when you iron it out, you can make it butter smooth, perfectly smooth, and it kind of reactivates the glue, but it never does look right. The good news is this will all be covered up with a bunch more layers of material, polytone for the paint. Of course, there's the silver that goes on before that. That gets it all filled in and looking like all the right colors. And the main thing is, I guess, to get it flat. There's a couple areas I'll probably need to touch up so that it's not globby and gluey, but like I said, the iron will help out there a lot. So I just kind of wanted to do an update now. We still have the top of the wing to paint the first layer on. It looks kind of splotchy, but this will all get pushed in. This first layer, the Cub Crafters guys and all the forums guys, they spray it and then back brush it. Well, it's poly brush, so it's supposed to be brushed in. That's why they back brush it, to fill the holes, so there's no pinholes. This actually is much pinker in real life. For some reason, I don't know, it's really white in the video, but this is actually really pink right now. And because it's saturated and filled in, I ended up using a 4-inch brush. You probably saw in the time lapse. Just a 4-inch, a really nice 4-inch brush, and brushed it in to get that in. And this is my first time, but I'm hoping that works to fill all the pinholes. There will be another layer on this of polytone poly brush that is sprayed on. And then apparently the leading edge, no matter what you do, gets brushed every time. Must have something to do with the fact that it might get pinholes. And then poly spray goes on that, and there's silver in that, and that's what protects it from the UV. I'm really proud of the cutouts here. Used some poly tack and got these really precise, so they all fit really, really nicely. A lot smaller than, in that case, a lot smaller than the printout that they had on there, but it worked out really good. This looks really rough and weird, but actually it's pretty smooth. I might touch it up a little bit more. One of the things that I found out, that if these have a crease in them before you put them down and they're kind of jumbled up in the box, it's really kind of hard to fight them afterwards. So if you can, next time I'm going to get them make sure they stay as flat as possible before I put them on. I was able to iron them out flat, but you can still see this. Now the middle gets cut out, so none of the middle matters. This is an access hole, and a metal plate will go over that. That's why there's plastic rings here and this doily, so that we can cut a hole in the wing and not have it mess with the integrity. So anyway, all those are on. Got the G3X patch on there, and that was kind of a cool thing I learned from the guys there, that glue the patch down, glue the grommet down with the poly tack, and then use the poly brush to just glue it to just the top, and then iron it so that it makes a perfect shape, because the iron shrinks it and puts a crease in it, and then poly brush the rest of the doily down, and it made a really nice perfect seam there, a really nice sharp edge on there, and that, I like that because I didn't want to fight that. And you can see this kind of glary glue here. I'm going to ask some professionals, but I might need to get that knocked down there before the next step. Now the next step, the stuff's all kind of made out of the same solvent, so it'll melt into each other. and kind of helps even it out. But I'll probably get a little extra advice on how to make that look good, because like I said, it's my first time. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and flip these over, and then I will I'll go ahead and finish the wingtips. I got to do one more coat of polybrush on these tapes here per the manual, the polyfiber manual. And I got this patch on the bottom. I got to put a patch on the top, and then I can do the leading edge tapes that'll cover all this up. And then we'll be pretty much done with the wings for this step, and it'll be on to the next level there. Also, we got the we've got the 3-inch tapes that go on the back here all the way down. Looking pretty good, pretty excited about that. It's all going well. I guess lastly, we have a little bit of a mystery box here. Pretty excited about this. Okay, we got an engine in there, so yeah, that'll be cool. I'll set this down here. I got the Titan, I got the spinner here. The Titan 340, pretty neat to see a brand new engine. That's 340 cubic inches and a little tiny bush plane, so this thing should be just a hoot. Really fun to fly. So, all right, on to the next step.